Thank you for joining me on my program. Thank you for connecting to the program. Please like and share the program on your platform. Share to everyone that is close to you. Reach out to anyone you can be able to reach out. Do not keep this message to yourself. Don't pretend you are not seeing it. Kindly like and share. Share to everyone that you can be able to reach out to, because it is important. Allow lies first. It is to be here all alone by yourself. You must invite someone to join us. The message across. Wherever you are, we have a message to pass. And in passing this message, we have to pass it the best way we can. We must not relent in passing this message. Every one of us have the responsibility to spread this gospel. Join us. As you join, you invite someone, like and share. As you join, you invite someone, like and share. Very important. The freedom of the people is very important. We cannot afford to play with our freedom. We cannot gamble with our freedom. It does not matter what they say. It does not matter what they do. Whatever propaganda they bring or blackmail, we will never succumb to it. Every one of us must put our hands together now that we still have the time. We have all seen how far the Biafran government have gotten. You know, from the beginning of us, everything, people were not taking the Biafran government serious. They thought it was for fun. Many people call the Prime Minister different kinds of names. And when they come to their media, they call him self-acclaimed Prime Minister. They have done everything they can to demoralize him and see that they can bring him down to a level of discouragement. But each time they make that move to discourage the Prime Minister, all you have to do is to just wait for some few minutes and you will find out why they are doing that. I can assure you that every time Biafra is making a move, the contraption called Nigeria has informants that keeps them updated. And whenever you see them, they come out and they shout on top of their voices. They shout, arrest him, they shout, deport him, they shout, repatriate him. Just know that something is about to happen. It is not ordinary. Anytime you see massive revolt against the Prime Minister of Biafra, just watch. Expect something to happen. If you have not watched the broadcast that our Prime Minister made yesterday, the State of the Nation address yesterday, if you have not watched it, please try to go and key in. Make sure you watch that State of the Nation address. It is very, very important. It is very important. And every Biafra, wherever you are, you must be part of that State of the Nation address. Every Biafra is supposed to be part of that State of the Nation address. If you have not listened to it, go back and listen to it. Listen carefully to it. You will understand a lot. I keep on remembering what our Prime Minister said some time ago. That he is happy when they don't take him serious. Whenever they are not taking him serious, he is happy because they are going to wake up with a surprise. You can call him any derogatory name. You can call him anything, say anything you want to say about him. That will never change his personality. That will never distract him. Instead, that will give him more strength to fight more. And whenever the Prime Minister makes that statement, it is not just only in word, just in action, you will see it. I have never seen a man who could stand the kind of pressure our Prime Minister have faced. Mazi Simon Ekpa. Pressure that is coming at a time, the pressure began to come from every angle, including from the people he's protecting. It was so massive that some of us who are with him, some begin to have a double thought. But the Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Mazi Simon Ekpa, he doesn't really give a damn if he's standing alone. The most important thing for him is he standing on the truth. And that should be the mindset of every Biafran. Every Biafran, you should always ask yourself, are you standing on the truth? As long as you are standing on the truth, don't bother yourself with whatever propaganda or blackmail you are seeing or hearing from any corner or angle. Just know it, that your truth shall set you free. The only thing that we need on this earth to overcome challenges is the truth. Strength is not always on the arms that you have. When the spirits are fighting for you, as you all know, it is commonly said that the spiritual control the physical. When the spiritual is fighting for you, when you have really won your battle spiritually, by your truthfulness, there is no weapon of warfare that will bring you down. And for those of you who do not know, that is the strength of Biafra. The strength of Biafra today is truthfulness. Sometimes people begin to wonder, how comes these people are not giving up? What is this in this Biafra? What is this Biafra that cannot be defeated? It is the truth. And Biafra has won their battle spiritually with truthfulness. That is why no matter what you do, no matter what you say, it is a waste of time. The more you think you overcome Biafra, the more you lose the battle. The more you think you have demoralized Biafrans, the more you have given them a reason to win. Wherever you are today as a Biafran, you should be proud of yourself. Be very, very proud of yourself. When we started, they called us miscreants. When we were talking about this very restoration of Biafra, as an organization, they were calling us miscreants. Mazi Nnamdi made a statement. He said, with the truth, I am going to destroy the zoo. And what he said was what he was doing. Mazi Nnamdi never raised arm. It was only protests, carrying flag, and the zoo fell. Until they began to send terrorists in our land. When they went to the extent of sending terrorists and taking the life of our people, Mazi Nnamdi made a plan of establishing the security outfit. And the security outfit came on board. And they did a great work to stop the intrusion of the terrorists. When they saw that Mazi Nnamdi was going ahead to do extraordinary things, they came on board. They planned from the inside to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi. The envious ones sold him. Some of them participated in the selling of Mazi Nnamdi ignorantly. And today, they can't go back. They sold him, thinking that they have gotten it. And today, what is happening? After selling Mazi Nnamdi, someone came and took up the mantle. Someone very, very strong and formidable came on and took up the mantle. And today, what are you saying? The Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Nigeria, Mazi Simon Ekpa, in his era, it is a time of restoration. And what did he do? He transformed the organization into a government. And today, that government is in charge of Biafra territory. The government of Biafra today says what will happen, takes decision, and 100% in control of Biafran territory. You can continue to deny it for all I care. There has not been any government in Nigeria that got up to 4 million votes to come to power. It has never happened. There has never been any government in the zoo that got up to 40 million votes to come to power. It has never happened and will never happen. So, if you are one of those doubting the resolve and the control of the Biafra government, you're on your own. You are on your own. Today, under the Prime Minister Masterstroke, Ekpa, he established an army to defend Biafran people, to defend the territory, because he is in control of a government. Every one of us know that the primary objective of a government is to protect and secure the life and property of its own people. And that is the assignment that the Biafra government in exile is embarking on. Self-defense. Self-defense. That was why the Biafran Liberation Army was established. And from that moment up to now, Biafran Liberation Army have been taking responsibility for the defense of Biafran territory. And they have done it so well, making sure that life and property of Biafrans is secured, and they will continue to do so until Biafra is completely and totally free. In the midst of the government, Biafra government have successfully conducted self-referendum, which is the topic of today. Self-referendum, the masterstroke that have crippled the zoo. Self-referendum. When the Prime Minister announced the self-referendum, some people laughed at it. Some called it a joke. Some said, what is this guy talking about? They made it a laughing issue. Some made it a laughing stock. But while they were busy laughing, the Prime Minister was busy doing his work. While they were busy laughing, the Prime Minister was busy taking responsibility and taking charge. And I bet you today, those people who laughed at him can no longer laugh. The people who called him names can no longer call him names. The people who called him a miscreant can no longer call him a miscreant. We have gotten to a stage where it is a different ball game. When he mentioned the self-referendum, they laughed at him. Some of them say he doesn't know what he's talking about. Some of them begin to imagine, how are you going to conduct it? How are you going to do it? And he kicked it off. He started online. Biafrans began to vote online. Massive turn-up was coming in. Biafrans, we are turning up and voting online from all different angles and corners. They were voting. And as Biafrans, we are voting online. They were still calling him and saying, why not come and do it on the ground? Why are you doing it online? And some of them say, your online voting will not be recognized. You are not going to get any recognition. They call it a waste of time and energy. They said all manner of things in order to distract him. But what happened? He was never distracted. He kept on his way. He kept on his assignments. He kept on his decision. He continued to pursue the course that he's pursuing. And there was never a time or any way he changed his mind. My fellow Biafrans, it does not matter what anybody is saying. Whenever you know that you're on the right path, don't get distracted. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying. Everybody is not going to like you. Everybody is not going to follow your steps. The most important thing in life is that whenever you are doing a thing and you are convinced that you're on the right path, and truly, your spirit does not condemn you, your conscience does not condemn you, stand strong. And at the end of the day, those who call you names will celebrate you. Those who call you names will applaud you. Those who call you evil will rise up and praise you. That is what we are seeing today. As we speak, the people who called our Prime Minister's name, who said he's a child, he doesn't have anything to offer. They say he can't do it. How are you going to do it? Who is going to recognize you? Before their own very eyes today. The self-referendum was not only conducted online, it was conducted on the ground. The self-referendum came on the ground. People began to respond on the self-referendum. Votes were coming on the ground. People began to vote on the ground. Biafrans rose up and they began to cast their vote. They voted on different places. We saw video evidence of the voting. We saw audio evidence of the voting. We saw picture evidence of the voting. As if it was a joke. And the zoo could not help. It took them unaware. They couldn't know how it happens and where it was happening. It was a very peaceful and successful self-referendum. Very successful. The de facto government did an excellent job. And Biafrans voted massively. It was really, really massive. Massive vote. And when the Biafrans voted, what did we see? We woke up and we saw that the self-referendum has gained recognition. The self-referendum of Biafran people have gained recognition against what people thought when they called it a joke. Against the proposal. When they said it's not possible, finally it became possible. There's nothing anybody can do to help it. It became possible. Before your own very eyes, an organization have recognized it. An international organization registered have recognized it. And today, this is where we are. The recognition of the self-referendum is a massive one, a massive blow to the zoo, and they can't handle it. In yesterday's broadcast of our Prime Minister, if you are in that broadcast, you will know certain things that you never know before. That is why I don't miss the broadcast, and you don't have to miss any broadcast coming from the Prime Minister. Don't miss it. There are so many things that the government of Nigeria is hiding that is being revealed. There are a lot of things you need to know that you don't know. And the only way you can get these informations is when you continue to pay attention to the broadcast of our Prime Minister. Yesterday's State of the Nation address was massive. A revelation was made. Our Prime Minister spoke of something that I can bet you 90% of Biafrans do not know about. An information that is hidden. You know that information is power. And that is why our Prime Minister cannot be distracted, cannot be deceived, cannot be shaken. Because he has enough information on whatever he's saying and what he's doing. Yesterday was massive. If you have not watched that very program, go and watch it. I'm going to post it in this platform. After this program, probably I'm going to post it. Our Prime Minister made a revelation. How many of you Biafrans know that in 2015, Nigerian government was given 90 days to conduct a referendum for Biafra. How many of you were aware of that information? How many Biafrans were aware that in 2015, 90 days ultimatum was given to Nigeria to conduct referendum for Biafran people? And they threw that very information to the dustbin. They hid it from you. In 2016, they were given 180 days to either conduct self-referendum or grant the independence of Biafra. Either conduct a referendum or outright independence. In 2016, for the second time, and they didn't pay attention. They ignored it. Just like the same way they ignored when they were told to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Order was given for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by the United Nations. They ignored it. And nothing happened. Everybody went about their business as if nothing happened, including the same United Nations that gave that order. Now you begin to understand why it is necessary that we do what we are doing. Now you begin to understand that your freedom is in your hand. No man born of a woman will save you if you don't save yourself. Now you begin to understand why Mazi Simon Ekpa is standing on a very solid ground. Now you understand why Mazi Simon Ekpa speaks with authority. And whatever he says in the open, not in the secret. Go and verify. Nigerian government have violated the rights of the Biafran people and refused to listen to international calls to conduct self-referendum, to conduct a referendum. Until this moment, in 2024, on the new dimension, a man that has the information, the man that knows what he wants, has come on board. Please like and share this video. Share this very information. Share it to all platforms. Keep on sharing. Don't keep it to yourself. As you join, you invite someone to join us. As the man has come on board today, he has taken up the challenge on that self-referendum. A referendum that the Nigerian government were told to conduct and they refused. He has to conduct it by himself. And he has done it successfully. The referendum has been recognized. And as we speak, the referendum of Biafra is binding on international law. The referendum that was conducted has met every international standard. Every international standard. I say every. Everything I say here, you should go and verify by yourself. I'm not forcing you to believe what I say. After listening to this broadcast, go and verify. The self-referendum of Biafran people has met every international standard and has won recognition, even before the final result. Before the final result. This is massive. This is a very big blow. A masterstroke. Now you understand when the Biafran lobbyists came on the program, when that man was speaking, one of the lobbyists was speaking, he said that the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic of Nigeria have outsmarted Nigerian government. And some of us, we are wondering, how did he outsmart Nigerian government? He did. On so many ways, on several ways. He did. Through the steps he has taken. He did. Through the processes he has gone. And I bet you, except you are not genuine, except you are not telling yourself the truth, you will continue to deny this fact that he has done tremendously well. Mazi Simon Ekpa conducted the self-referendum with the Biafran government. First of all, from online, then he came on ground with the support of the de facto government in the homeland. It was made a massive success. I said massive success. Please like and share this video. Like and share. This is the least you can do to support this platform. The least you can do to participate and also share the program. Share it. Let everyone get this information because it is very important. There are people who are still sitting under the fence. There are some people who doesn't have the knowledge. There are people who are lacking information, and because of that, they're sitting under the fence, thinking that we are where we are yesterday. No, we are not where we are yesterday. The Biafran government have gone on a different path. The self-referendum of Biafra has won recognition as we speak, and it is binding on international law. It does not matter whether you agree with it. It doesn't really matter. What matters today that makes us happy is that the self-referendum have made all international standard, and there is nothing anyone can do about it. The earlier you understand and accept that and know the fact of today, the better for you, because Biafra has come. Biafra has come. One of the things that a country need to do to be on their own is self-referendum. One of the things that you need to do to show the world that you are united and ready and that you are in charge is self-referendum. One of the things that you need to do to show the world that you have the mandate of your people to stand and speak for them is self-referendum. It has been conducted. Since the Nigerian government have refused to conduct it, the Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Israel, after the declaration and delegitimization of the zoo on our territory and everyone that represents them, he has gone ahead to do the needful, to speak for the Biafran people and make sure that our voice is heard. So, you have to deal with it. The self-referendum of Biafra today is binding on international law, binding on Nigerian government, whether they like it or not. It is binding. And before we got this far, remember, notice have been sent to so many places. Biafra even made a call for a neutral body to come and conduct the self-referendum, but all the calls fall into a deaf ear. As you know, only you can save yourself. In the planet that we are today, the world is operating according to interests. People are concerned that something that have to do with them. As long as your interest is protected, you do not care what is happening to others. And that is how the world operates today. So you don't expect anybody to come from heaven and save you. It is you that will save yourself. As you know, you will attack in equity. But if you decide to fold your hands and remain on the ground, well, you will face the consequence of your action. Today, the Biafrans are not only raising their hands up, they are standing tall to free themselves. That is what we are doing. And that is the right thing to do. So wherever you are watching me from today, if you are a Biafran and you have not yet keyed in into the program of the day, please make sure you key in. If you are a Biafran and you have not yet keyed into the program, make sure you key in, because there is no solution. Nothing is going to stop the pursuit of our freedom. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The earlier you understand that, the better. For those who think that we can give up our freedom for any idiocy, we will not. It doesn't matter whether you agree with us or you don't agree with us. Whatever you say does not count. As long as we are working according to international law, that is the beauty of the struggle. Whenever I remember that everything we are doing today is according to law. I feel joy in me whenever I remember that I can boldly stand out in the public and call myself a Biafran under the Biafra Republic of Malaysia. I feel joy whenever I remember that today every right of the Biafran people have been activated. Every of our rights that have been deactivated by the enemies have now been activated. And as we activate our rights, it will remain activated until Biafra is completely set free. It does not matter what the enemies are saying. It does not matter their propaganda and their blackmail. We are making progress while they are busy gossiping, calling us names. The Afonjas cannot even handle the success of Biafra. The Afonjas are wondering, why are these people still talking? Because they have tried on so many ways to keep us down. But the more they try, the more they fail. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are today, you must be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself. Time has gone when you hide under the keyboard and type as a Biafra. That time has gone. If you are not yet addressing yourself as a Biafra, you should be ashamed of yourself. The restoration of Biafra is not a question of maybe. It is a must. And it's going to happen sooner than you expect. With the recognition we are seeing today, more people are going to fall in line. We have not finished the self-referendum, and yet you are seeing recognition. The self-referendum of the Biafran people is going to be concluded in November. We are just in the second phase. The second phase of the self-referendum. That is where we are. In that second phase of the first referendum, already we have more than 40 million votes. And as we speak, people are still casting their vote. People are still casting their vote. And as Biafrans are casting their vote on a daily basis, I bet you before the end of the vote, we are going to have up to 50 million votes. And I want to ask you again, has there been any government in Nigeria that came in power with up to 40 million votes? Has there been any? If you have heard of any, please put on the comment section. Have there been any government in Nigeria that came to power with up to 40 million votes? If you have heard of any, in any way, if you have heard, please write on the comment section. Maybe I'm not aware. I'm ready to learn. I am ready and open to learn. But from my own investigation and inquiries, there has never been any government in Nigeria that came in power with such votes. Now tell me, why would anyone in the world not support Biafra? Tell me, why won't United Nations approve Biafra? Tell me, why would the EU turn their back on Biafra? It will not happen. The only thing they are waiting is for us. They are waiting for us to do what we are supposed to do, which is exactly what we are doing today. Messiah cannot come from up to come and save you. Just as I have always been saying, the world that we live in is according to interest. As long as the interest of the West is protected, they will not say anything, neither will they do anything. But immediately their own interest is affected, they are going to fight as if their life depends on it. And you have seen it on several occasions. When the Niger people rose up and they drove their colonial master, you saw them. They came with threats, including using a fellow African country. The zoo called Nigeria was to be manipulated to fight against Niger. When Burkina rose up and said enough is enough, and they took their country from France, in the same way they rose up because they were affected. But I thank Chukwu Okikama today for Burkina. The young man in Burkina today is doing excellently well. Excellently well, equipping his military with the latest available ammunitions. When I see what that guy is doing, I see Biafra. When I see what he's doing, I see Biafra. And you see these Western countries, they have already distributed the African countries within themselves. They have shared Africa within themselves. Today, France is losing the grip he has on the French countries. But the British is still hanging on, counting on the zoological republic of Nigeria. The big dog that the British have, that they are using to manipulate Africa, that made the British what they are today, is Nigeria. And you know, British, they command a lot of votes in the Security Council. They command a lot of votes in the United Nations. That is why you don't wait for these people to come for you. You have to do something for them to come. When they come, then you give them condition. That is how it is being fought. You don't fold your hands and begin to cry and wait for United Nations. You fold your hands and begin to cry and wait for EU. The people you are calling upon are the people that are benefiting from you. They are benefiting from you. So they won't do anything. The best thing to do is to go ahead and fight for your freedom. As an police, I have said it time and time again. You don't just fold your hands and expect somebody to come and ask you what it is. Something must start happening, and then they will come and ask questions. Then we'll sit on the table, make our case, and then we walk away from the zoo. The Biafran people have a case. Even the blind know that. The deaf and dumb know that. The zoo themselves know that. The British know very well that we have a case. From the onset, even from amalgamation, they know we have a case. Every one of you know the reason they put us together with the North. You all know the reason why they merged us together with the North. It is because the North cannot survive on its own. I didn't say it, the British themselves said it. Because the North cannot survive on its own. And in the same way, when they try to walk out of the contraption called Nigeria, after the first revolution, which they called a coup, the very first revolution conducted by the Biafrans, by a Biafran, Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogu. That revolution he led, what transpired? The Northern group, they came and did their counter coup. And when they did the counter, with all their wickedness and the loss of life, they felt they have everything with them. They were ready to go. They were preparing to walk away. And the British, with their selfish interests, came again and advised them. And they told them, don't walk away. If you walk away, you cannot survive on your own. Don't walk away. If you walk away, you will not survive on your own. They asked them that they should make sure that they remain in Nigeria. And because of that information that was given to them, they stayed back and they went and took Gowon as their stooge, a junior ranking officer. They took him and he made himself a willing tool. They used him to manipulate, to run the affairs of Nigeria. Even when he was a junior officer, even the officer from Yoruba land ran away. Who was supposed to take over? Ran away. And remember, Biafrans, we don't take last, and Biafrans, we can't be silent. Dim Odumegwu, the general, told Gowon to himself that you can't be Mali. There's no way Gowon can be there. He told them there are officers ahead. There are officers ahead of you. He was bold to speak up. But the zoo, being what it is, with their plans and their evil, they continue to hold on to their criminality. And they did their manipulation, and they promoted Gowon to a general above every other officers. They promoted Gowon. And because they promoted Gowon, he now assumed the presidency. The evil of the zoo did not start today. We have nothing in common with these people. If Biafra does not leave the zoo, we will not survive. If Biafra does not leave the zoo, we will not have security. If Biafra does not leave the zoo, we will not survive. It is not maybe. This is the truth, a bitter truth that we must learn to accept. The zoo has no plan for the Biafran people. Likewise, Biafran people should not have any hope or plan for the contraption called Nigeria. Every genuine Biafran that needs security, that wants to survive, that do not want to be oppressed, should be talking about independence. And every one of them I know, 90% of Biafrans, more than 90%, are all speaking that they want to go home. The 1% that you see there, who come to preach their one Nigeria, the 1% who are swimming in, who have been corrupted so much that they can no longer survive on their own, except on the evil agenda of the zoo. They have decided to accept and condone the fraudulent life of the Zoological Republic. And because they have decided to imbibe in this, they no longer see something wrong in the zoo. These are the group who will tell you that, let us try, maybe it will work. Let us work together. Work together with who? Work together with who? Everyone that is talking about working together in Nigeria is saying it out of selfish interest. He's not saying it out of the interest of the masses. Because the genuine people knows that as it stands today, there is nothing that we have in common. The genuine people in that contraption called Nigeria know that the people have nothing in common. And there is no way they are supposed to be together. Anyone that is preaching to you, oh, let us manage this, let us try, it will work. He is just doing it because he or she is preparing for his own fraud. These are people who has been trained and brought up in the corrupt system. And they know that when you put a situation where things begin to work out fine, they cannot succeed. They believe that when you come in a situation where things are working properly, they can no longer succeed. That is why, in most cases, you find them doing things in a different form. But I bet you, it does not matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what they plan. It doesn't matter their strategies. Every one of us will always remain and focus on that which is right. Don't allow the propaganda to affect you. Don't allow the evil agenda of the enemy to capture you. There are a lot of lies that have been told. Don't be weakened by those lies. Do not be weakened, my fellow Biafrans. I appreciate every one of you that have been part of this very program this evening. Thank you so much for being part of this program. Please, I want you to know that if you are a Biafran, the only thing you have to do today is to support the Biafra, the Republic of Nigeria, the best way you can support. Put your money where your mouth is. The only place you have today to defend and protect is Biafra. Only Biafra will give you what you want. Let us support our Prime Minister Masterstroke. Give your contribution to the Liberation Army to defend your land. Self-defense is your right. There is no law that stands against self-defense. Self-defense is a human right law. International law supports it. African human and people's rights law supports it. Nigerian law itself supports self-defense. So why are you afraid? What are you afraid of? Why are you threatened? Do not be afraid. Do not be shaken. Don't allow anybody to cajole you into believing something that is wrong. My fellow Biafrans, I appreciate everyone that have been able to join me on this broadcast. I wish I could stay more, but I think I'm running low on my battery. So, by the special grace of Chukwu, if I have time, I'm going to come back again tomorrow on this live. If I don't come tomorrow, then it's going to be on Monday. But wherever you are, please hang on and continue to pursue your freedom. It is either Biafra or Biafra. Nothing will stop us from getting our freedom. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide and protect everyone that is genuinely pursuing freedom. May Chukwu Okike guide and protect the Liberation Army. Guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Samuel Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. May his wisdom increase. No weapon formed or fashioned against him shall prosper. I appreciate every one of you that has been part of this program from the beginning to end. Thank you for being part of the program. Thank you for your patience. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. Please like and share this program. If you have not yet shared this program, like the program and share it so that everyone will get this information. It is very important. Our self-referendum has been endorsed and approved, and it is binding on international law. So it doesn't matter what anybody is saying. We are making headways. We are making progress. Huge, huge progress. Unimaginable progress. Thank you so much, and see you again next time. Biafra governments, peace, progress, unity, and equity. We move. Airborne.